Hello everyone, I'm OverLVLResistant and welcome to another Jurassic World Alive video. Today we are going to be ranking every rare creature and make a tier list of them. I hope you enjoy. And the first creature is Gerafatitan, which is in fact a pretty good creature. Good resistances, good health, low damage and speed, but also pretty good moveset. This is used a lot in rare tournaments, so I will put it in A tier. Let's see, the next one is gonna be Bajatosaurus. Now this creature is really bad. Compared to other sauropods, its health is low, damage is also low, and the moveset isn't the best because Devastation has 2 turns cooldown, so it just usually cannot even use it. That's why it's one of the worst rare creatures. Next one is a Lycosaurus Gen 2. Low health, good damage and good speed. Damage over time resistance, and I would say an okay moveset. But still it isn't really good. In advantage tourneys it's used quite a lot, but in skill it's less used because it's less good, of course. The next one is Dolikurus, with good health and okay damage, mediocre speed and really high armor. And the moveset is also pretty good. This is also an often used creature in skill tournaments, that's why I put it in A tier. Next creature is going to be Gorgosaurus, with low health, fine damage and good speed, good distraction resistance, and a pretty good moveset, I would say. This is even used in skill tournaments, but I think it's not higher than B tier. The next creature is Utahraptor, with low health, good damage and good speed. Okay moveset. This isn't really a good creature, but all these rare raptors, including Echo and Delta and Utahraptor and the others, are around B tier, I would say. They are about the same, they are on about the same level. The next creature is Gorgosaurus, with okay health, good damage and low speed. Kind of useless resistances, but a decent moveset. It's an okay creature to use. It's B tier. Let's see. The next creature is Melania. Now this thing got nerfed. Before it was really good. Nowadays it's only used in advantage tourneys. It's a fine creature, but practically any fierce can kill it. So I would say it's B tier as well. The next creature is going to be Ripteros. The Ripteros has kind of low health, low damage and good speed, fine moveset and a counter attack, but this isn't really a good creature to use just because of its low health and no distraction or dodge or shield anything. Sucatator though is a really good creature with high health, quite good damage and good speed, good speed and amazing moveset. Do I put it in S or A? Maybe it's S, because it can just kill a lot of creatures, a lot of other creatures. It's even used in the PvP arena. Sometimes I see it, but I don't think it's that great, but still a really good creature. Here's Diplocolos, or Diplocolos Gen 2 rather. This isn't a good creature. Low damage makes it practically useless. It's maybe even, yes, it's C tier, I would say. Not lower, but yeah, it's C. The next creature is Marsupial Lion, with okay health, low damage, and good speed, and amazing crit chance. Good resistance, with the speed decreases resistance, it's pretty good. And quite good moveset, and a counter attack. This creature is really amazing. It's almost always used in both skill and advantage journeys. I would say I'm gonna put it in S tier. It can kill so many creatures, even some cunnings. I think. The next creature is going to be Amargosaurus, with high health, low damage and speed, and also the moveset isn't really good, so it's C tier unfortunately. The next creature is going to be Arctops, with low health, high damage and speed, good distraction and quick reduction resistance, and a quite fine moveset for a cunning. This is used in rare tournaments sometimes, but it's just like other cunnings. It's B tier. The next creature is Suchus, with okay health, low damage and mediocre speed, some armor, but the abilities are quite amazing. Its resilient moves are really good against cunnings, of course, and dig in can just cleanse the swap prevention, which occurs after swapping in and doing the swap in move. I just love this creature, and that's why I'm going to put it in maybe A tier, but yeah, it's not as good as like Dolikurus or Gerafatitan, so it's B. Here's Diplocolos with low health, low damage and good speed. Also quite bad moveset. There is nothing much to say about this one. It's a really bad creature. The next creature is going to be Aramborgiano. Aramborgiana has quite good health, low damage and okay speed. Maybe even good speed. But its moveset isn't the best. So it's somewhere C or B. It's not as good as B tier creatures, so it's just C. Ankylosaurus, with medium health, low damage, and okay speed, but quite good moveset and abilities. Fine, this is usable but not really overpowered. B tier. The next creature is going to be Echo, another raptor, with low health, high damage and speed, and a quite fine moveset. But it's also B tier, just as the Utahraptor. The next creature is Irritated. There is nothing much to say about this. This is completely not for PvP. This is a raid creature. So this one is useless in PvP, but of course amazing in raids. Dilophosaurus has okay health and high damage and quite good speed. Also not bad moveset, but it still isn't that great. It's like B tier. I almost never see it in skill tournaments. It's not that good. Here is another raptor. I think Charlie is the best one of the rare raptors. But it's still not good enough to be A tier. The next creature is going to be Megalosaurus. Megalosaurus has quite good health, low damage and speed, but quite good moveset and a good counterattack. This one is usable but not really great. I see it sometimes in skill tournaments, but still not A tier in my opinion. The next creature is Ornithomimos, with low health, really high damage and speed, and quite good resistances. The moveset is also impressive. I almost want to put it in S tier. Yeah, just because all the cunnings aren't really good and fierce creatures are quite high. It's S tier. Here is Inotherium. Now this creature is really overrated. It has bad health, high damage and speed, but a terrible moveset. Guys, this creature is bad. It's not worth using in any tournaments or even in PvP of course, and it's not the greatest one for raids either. So here is Oviraptor with low health, quite good damage and good speed. Okay moveset, but it isn't nearly as good as Ornithomimos. It's like the other rare Raptors, it's B tier. Elasmotherium with high health, quite good damage and low speed, really good armor. Good moveset and a good resistance. This creature is really good. It's A tier or maybe even S tier. I really like this creature. This can also kill fierces, but I would say it's A tier. Yes, because Marsupial Lion and Circus and the others can easily kill this. Okay, here is Ankylocon, another hybrid with good resistances, good health, but low damage and speed. Also pretty bad moveset. Overall it isn't bad, but isn't good either. So it's a B tier. The next creature is Majundasaurus. Let's see what Majundasaurus has. Not really good health, low damage and speed. Impressive moveset I would say, with the counter attack. But overall, because of the low health and speed, this isn't really a good creature. It's not bad, it's fine, but Not over B tier. It's even low B, in fact, in my opinion. The next creature is going to be Moschops, which has good health and armor, with low damage and mediocre speed, good resistances, and a quite good moveset. This creature is in fact quite good, in my opinion. I used it sometimes in rare tournaments. I don't really use it anymore, but a few months ago it was top tier. It's still, I think, an A tier creature. And the next one is Argentinosaurus. Another sauropod, but unfortunately this one is also not really good. Although high health and pretty low damage and speed. The moveset isn't great, so it's C tier. It's not as bad as like Irritated or Pachydosaurus, but it's still not really good. The next one is Dimetrodon, another good creature with a lot of resistances. Okay health, high damage, and mediocre speed. The moveset is also quite good. Just like that, it's either high B or low A. It's mostly used in advantage tournaments, not often in skill, or at least in my experience, I don't see much of them. That's why it's B tier. Maybe I will change my mind, but at the moment I think it's a B tier. Here is Utahraptor with high armor and health, low damage and mediocre speed, or rather low speed, and a quite good moveset, which is perfect for a wild card. That's why it's an A tier. It's used a lot. Everyone uses it in rare skill tournaments. I quite like this creature. It's pretty useful as a swap in and overall. Here is Warehousaurus with not really great stats and quite bad moveset. It's really low B tier or higher C tier, but rather in C. Here we have the rare snake, Titanabou Gen 2, with quite good health, low damage and good speed or medium speed, but high crit chance and good moveset. It's an A tier. I quite like this creature. Also with the unescaped dust cloud, it's pretty good. Baryonyx Gen 2, although it seems good with high speed and speed decrease resistance and ready to crash, but ready to crash is really overrated. This creature is very bad. It deals so low damage. Even with the ready to crash, it's not too much. It's low B or higher C. I think I'm gonna stick it to C tier. And the next one is Capra Sutures with fine health, low damage and good speed, speed decrease resistance, but terrible moveset. It can only strike, and even with a group ferocity strike, it doesn't do much damage. It's really bad. I'm thinking of it even worse, C. Yes, it's just really bad. And the next creature is Tenontosaurus. Tenontosaurus is similar to Irritator, but it's not even good in raids. No one uses Tenontosaurus because it's outclassed by other similar creatures. This is terrible among rare creatures in PvP. Spinosaurus Gen 2 is quite good though. The lethal wound and no escape combination with the high speed is really impressive. It can kill a lot of creatures, and after doing the lethal wound it can just be switched out, for example to Nasutoceratops, so it's really good. That's why it's A tier. Kalankan is a low health, high damage and speed creature with damage over time resistance. In fact, this is a pretty good counter to Spinosaurus, also with a good moveset. It's a low A tier in my opinion. It used to be a little better, but nowadays it's falling off the meta. Hast Eagle Gen 2 is not good. It has low damage, low health and high speed. Fine moveset, but only with 1 times damage moves. So any resilient creature can easily deal with this. And the next creature is going to be Triceratops, another swap-in creature, kind of similar to Iniosutius, but this one is, I would say, much worse. Worse moveset, of course, lower health. This isn't that good, but it's almost the same. Both in B tier, I would say, are fine. But both of them are being outclassed by Nasutoceratops. Here's Delta, another rare raptor, with low health and high damage and high speed of course, but quite bad moveset. Impact and run is fine, but if it faces a resilient which slows down Delta, it can be completely useless. So it's B tier like the others. The next creature is Megalosaurus. This has low health, low damage and high speed. Good resistances, I would say, fine resistances. And kind of a weird moveset. Weapon heal is useless of course. This creature isn't really good. Maybe low B tier or high C. I can't really decide. It's not as good as other B tier creatures. And I'm thinking a little. Gorgonops is being used quite a lot in skill tournaments. That's why I put it A tier. I'm correcting myself. Okay, Capra Sutures Gen 2. It has quite good health and good damage and good speed, but terrible moveset. It's a little bit better than Diplocolos Gen 2, that's why it's in B tier. The next creature is going to be Dracorax. Dracorax is a pretty strong creature. It's used quite often in advantage tourneys and quite often in skill tourneys. Good moveset paired with quite good stats. It's low S or high A tier creature. I'm gonna put it in high A tier. And thinking of it, Sucatator might go a bit lower. It's not that overpowered. If it had no escape, it obviously would be S tier. Without it, it's only an A. Also, Ornithomimos. Well, any resilient can kill it practically, or almost any. If you think of all the A tier resilients, they all kill Ornithomimos. Here is Nodosaurus, a really bad creature, nothing much to say about this. Its damage ruins everything. It could be a good concept, but even if it had 1200 attack, it would be alright but not good, in my opinion. And the next creature is Circus, with quite low health, high damage and speed decrease resistance, and amazing abilities. This creature might be the best rare creature in the entire game. You might agree with me. In Game Press tier list, this is the one which is highest of the rares as well. Here is Antelodon with quite bad moveset and quite bad stats. Overall terrible creature. Maybe, well, the stats are fine, but the moveset ruins the whole thing, and that's why it's... Does it even reach C tier? That's the question. No, it doesn't, I would say. And the next creature is Caffeinators. This used to be really overrated. Nowadays, luckily it's not, because this isn't a good creature. Moveset is bad and the stats aren't really good as well. So it's C tier. The next creature is Purolith, which is a really great rare hybrid. Amazing moveset and alright stats with no escape. I really like this creature. It's, I would say, one of the few S tier creatures. The next one is going to be Carnotaurus, another rending counter attack creature with fine health, low damage and speed, alright moveset, and an amazing greater rending counter attack. This creature can be used, actually. It's not one of the best rare creatures, but I sometimes even see it in skill tournaments, but mostly I see Carnotauruses in advantage tournaments. Is it low A tier or high B? It kills a lot of the A tier creatures, that's what I'm thinking of. Maybe I shall put it in A tier. It's low A just because of the so much resilience in A tier and around. That's why it's pretty good. Here is Tyrannosaurus Rex Gen 2 with quite good stats and good moveset, but no resistance, and overall, because of how slow it is, it's not the greatest, not one of the greatest creatures. Fine, it can be used. It's mostly used in advantage tourneys, but not much in skill. And the next creature is going to be the Quetzalcoatlus, yes, that's the one, with really high health and low damage and quite okay speed, but unfortunately terrible moveset and quite weak swapping defense. This isn't that bad though. It can kill most of the cunnings, or maybe all of the cunnings. That's why it's B tier. Here's Pasta Sutures. This is really bad. It's like a Capra Sutures, but I would say this is even worse. The adrenaline pulse is so useless and it doesn't make any sense. It's like a lesser emergency heal for Melania. It does the same, but the difference is I think this adrenaline pulse has one more turn cooldown. Pasta Sutures, just like that, is one of the worst creatures in Jurassic World Alive. Of course, from the rare creatures, I mean. Here is Diplocolos, which isn't a bad rare hybrid, high speed and damage. Not really good health, of course. And quite okay moveset. It can do quite a lot of damage, especially if it can revenge kill with Ferocious Strike, then both defense shattering impact and distracting strike and all this stuff can do really much damage. I think it's going to be somewhere in A tier. It's not quite S tier, but better than B tier creatures. It's a low A, I would say, just like Carnotaurus. And the next creature is Edmontosaurus, another healer, but in PvP tournaments and this stuff, it's also not great, just like Tenontosaurus or other healers. This one has the resilient impact, which makes it better for sure, but it's not even B tier. It's C because it has the resilient impact, which is a really useful move, but it still isn't good. The next creature is Aramborgiano, which stats aren't really good, and the moveset is fine. Is it B tier? I would say so. It's better than C tier creatures, for sure. And the last creature is Proceratosaurus. A lot of respect to Pro C, but in this game Proceratosaurus isn't really good. It's a fine cunning, but does not have 2 times damage moves. It's like all the Raptors. It's a B tier creature. So this was my rare tier list video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. See you guys in the next video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed.